Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. OK, let's dive into the frustrating world of request header or cookie too large errors in Windows. This issue typically stems from exceeding the size limits imposed by web servers, like IIS on Windows, for HTTP request headers, particularly cookies. When the server receives a request whose header is too large, it throws a 400 bad request error, often manifesting as request header too large or cookie too large. It's important to understand the underlying reasons and the different solutions available. Understanding the problem. Request header size limits. Web servers have configured limits on the maximum size of request headers they will accept. This is to prevent denial of service attacks and to ensure efficient processing of requests. Cookie bloat. Cookies are small text files that websites store on your computer to remember information about you, such as login details, preferences, or shopping cart items. Over time, cookies can accumulate, and individual cookies can grow in size, especially if websites store excessive data in them. Furthermore, if you are using multiple subdomains, and a cookie is set without a very specific domain, the same cookie is sent with every request to the root domain and the subdomains, increasing the size multiplicatively. Too many cookies. Each time your browser makes a request to a website, it sends all the cookies associated with that domain in the request header. If you have a large number of cookies for a particular domain, the header can become very large. Long URLs, GET requests. While less common, excessively long URLs, particularly in GET requests, can also contribute to a large request header. The entire URL is part of the header. Browser behavior. Different browsers may handle large headers or cookies slightly differently. Some may be more tolerant than others. Some may have their own limits on how many cookies they will store per domain. Proxy servers and load balancers. Intermediate devices like proxy servers and load balancers might have their own header size limits that are lower than the web servers, causing the error to appear even if the web server itself is configured to allow larger headers. 3 key solutions. Here are 3 primary approaches to fix the request header or cookie too large issue. 1. Reducing cookie size and number. This is often the most effective and targeted solution. 2. Increasing web server header limits. This is a server-side configuration change that allows the server to accept larger headers. Use this cautiously. 3. Using session state instead of cookies. Server-side. This involves storing user-specific data on the server side instead of using cookies. Let's examine each of these solutions in detail, including code examples. 1. Reducing cookie size and number. This approach focuses on minimizing the amount of data stored in cookies and the number of cookies set. It's the most recommended approach because it addresses the root cause of the problem without simply masking it. Identify large cookies. Use your browser's developer tools, usually accessed by pressing F12, to inspect the cookies associated with the domain causing the error. Look for cookies with large size values. You can usually find this information under the Application or Storage tab, then select Cookies. Remove unnecessary cookies. Delete any cookies that are no longer needed. Many sites have abandoned cookies that persist for a long time but are no longer actively used by the application. Reduce data in cookies. Review the data stored in the remaining cookies. Can you shorten the values or use more efficient representations? For example, instead of storing a full name, could you store a user ID and retrieve the name from a database? Consider storing only the essential information. Use server-side storage instead of cookies. For data that doesn't absolutely need to be stored on the client side, like large amounts of user preferences, shopping cart details, etc., switch to server-side storage, example session state, database. This is often the best long-term solution. Review cookie domain and path. Ensure that cookies are scoped to the correct domain and path. Avoid setting cookies with overly broad domains, example domain equals ... if they are only needed for a specific subdomain. The more specific the domain and path, the fewer unnecessary requests the cookie will be included in. Clear browser cache and cookies. Encourage users to clear their browser cache and cookies for the affected website or, in more extreme cases, clear all browser data to ensure all old cookies are removed. Code examples, illustrative. Removing a cookie, see ASP.NET. Reducing cookie data, JavaScript, example. Setting cookie with specific domain and path, JavaScript. 2. Increasing web server header limits, IIS. This involves modifying the configuration of your web server, IIS, to allow larger request headers. Use this solution with caution. Increasing the limits excessively can make your server more vulnerable to denial of service attacks. It's generally better to fix the underlying cookie issue. Open IIS Manager * Launch Internet Information Services, IIS, Manager. You can search for it in the Windows Start menu. Select the server or site * in the Connections pane, left side, select either the server node, to apply the changes globally, or the specific website node if you only want to change the settings for one website. It is generally recommended to do this per website, rather than globally, so other sites are not affected. Request filtering * in the feature view, middle pane, double-click on request filtering. Edit feature settings * in the actions pane, right side, click on edit feature settings. Modify limits *. Maximum URL length, max URL. This controls the maximum length of the URL in a request. Maximum query string, max query string. This controls the maximum length of the query string portion of the URL. Maximum allowed content length, max allowed content length. This controls the maximum size of the request body, example when uploading files. This is not the header size, so it won't directly affect this error. Maximum request header field length, max request header field size. This is the important one. This controls the maximum size of each individual header field. Increase the maximum request header field length, bytes, to a larger value. The default is often 4096, 4 KB, or 8192, 8 KB. Consider increasing it incrementally, example to 16,384 or 32,768, to avoid excessive overhead. Do not set it to an arbitrarily large value. You may also want to increase the maximum URL length and maximum query string if long URLs are contributing to the problem. Apply changes * click OK to save the changes. Restart IIS * restart the IIS server or the specific website for the changes to take effect. You can do this by right-clicking on the server or site in the Connections pane and selecting Manage - Restart. Important considerations *. Security * increasing header limits can increase the risk of denial of service attacks. Monitor your server's performance and security logs after making these changes. Testing * thoroughly test your website after increasing the header limits to ensure that it functions correctly and that the changes haven't introduced any unexpected issues. Configuration example, web.config. You can also configure these settings directly in your website's web.config file. This allows you to version control the configuration. Add the following section inside the system.web server section. Explanation asterisk. Asterisk max allowed content length, sets the maximum size of the content in a request, in bytes. While not directly related to the header size issue, it's often configured in conjunction with other request filtering settings. Asterisk max URL, sets the maximum length of the URL in a request, in bytes. Asterisk max query string, sets the maximum length of the query string portion of the URL, in bytes. Asterisk max request header field size, sets the maximum size of each individual request header field, in bytes. 3. Using session state instead of cookies, server-side. This approach involves moving data that is currently stored in cookies to server-side session state. Session state is stored on the server and is associated with a specific user session. A small cookie, usually named ASP.NET_sessionid, is used to maintain the link between the user's browser and the session data on the server. Asterisk benefits asterisk. Asterisk reduces the size of the cookies sent in each request. Asterisk improves security, as sensitive data is not stored on the client's machine. Asterisk allows you to store larger amounts of data per user. Asterisk drawbacks asterisk. Asterisk requires server-side storage, memory, database, etc. Asterisk can increase server load if session state is not managed efficiently. Code example, C, ASP.NET. Explanation asterisk. Asterisk instead of reading and writing cookies directly, you use the session object to store and retrieve user-specific data. Asterisk the session object is available in ASP.NET web applications and provides a convenient way to store data that is associated with a particular user session. Asterisk behind the scenes, ASP.NET uses a cookie, typically named ASP.NET_sessionid, to track the session ID, but this cookie is usually small and doesn't contribute significantly to the request header to large error. Asterisk you can configure how session state is stored, in memory, in a database, etc., in your web.config file. For larger applications, storing session state in a database or using a distributed cache is often recommended. Important considerations for session state asterisk. Asterisk session state provider asterisk choose the appropriate session state provider for your application, in PROC, state server, SQL Server, Redis, etc. In PROC is simplest but not suitable for web farms or applications that need to survive server restarts. Database-backed or distributed cache solutions are more scalable and reliable. Asterisk session timeout asterisk configure the session timeout appropriately. If the timeout is too long, users' sessions will remain active for an extended period, consuming server resources. Asterisk serialization asterisk if you are storing complex objects in session state, ensure that they are serializable. Asterisk concurrency asterisk be aware of potential concurrency issues if multiple requests from the same user access and modify session state simultaneously. You might need to use locking mechanisms to prevent data corruption. Asterisk database performance asterisk if you choose to store session state in the database, ensure the database is optimized for session access and updates. Troubleshooting tips. Asterisk use browser developer tools asterisk use the developer tools in your browser, F12, to inspect the request headers, cookies, and network traffic. This is essential for identifying the source of the problem. Asterisk monitor server logs asterisk examine your web server's logs, IIS logs, for more detailed error information. The logs might provide clues about which specific request is causing the issue. Asterisk test with different browsers asterisk test your website with different browsers to see if the problem is browser specific. Asterisk simplify the request. Asterisk try to reproduce the error with a minimal request. For example, remove unnecessary parameters from the URL or delete some cookies to see if that resolves the issue. Asterisk check for reverse proxies. Asterisk if you are using a reverse proxy, example Cloudflare, Azure Front Door, check the proxy's configuration for header size limits. The proxy might be the component that is rejecting the request. Summary of recommendations. 1. Prioritize cookie reduction. Asterisk the best long-term solution is to reduce the size and number of cookies. This is the most efficient and secure approach. 2. Use server-side session state. Asterisk for data that doesn't absolutely need to be stored on the client side, switch to server-side session state. 3. Increase header limits. Cautiously, if you must increase header limits, do so incrementally and monitor your server's performance and security. Adjust settings specifically for the affected website rather than globally on the server. 4. Optimize cookie scope. Asterisk use specific domain and path attributes when setting cookies to minimize the number of requests that the cookies are sent with. 5. Monitor and test. Asterisk thoroughly monitor your server and test your website after making any changes. By carefully analyzing the problem and implementing the appropriate solutions, you can resolve the request header or cookie too large error and ensure that your website functions smoothly. Remember that a proactive approach to cookie management and server configuration is essential for preventing this issue from occurring in the first place.